Arsenal injury latest, Riccardo Calafiori, Max Dowman, and more ahead of Liverpool clash. Arsenal injury update ahead of Liverpool clash. Arsenal kicked off 2026 exactly how Mikel Arteta would have drawn it up, a 3-2 win away at Bournemouth in a game that lurched between chaos and control at the Vitality Stadium. Importantly, there were no new injury setbacks to report from the fixture. Declan Rice, who had been a surprise inclusion after a knee problem sustained against Brighton, lasted the full 90 minutes without issue. Rice's previous knock had ruled him out of the 4-1 victory over Aston Villa before New Year's Eve, and had left Arsenal fans braced for his absence on the south coast. Instead, his late fitness gamble paid off, a reminder that not all Arsenal injury updates arrive wrapped in pessimism. But while Rice came through unscathed, other key names were still absent, shaping selection decisions and raising questions about return timelines. Riccardo Calafiori. One of the biggest talking points in the latest Arsenal injury update centers on Riccardo Calafiori, who did not travel with the squad to face Bournemouth. The Italian defender suffered what Arteta described as a very awkward injury in the run-up to the Brighton match, a problem labeled very awkward in the build-up, forcing the manager to confirm he would be unavailable. With Calafiori sidelined, summer arrival Piero Hincapié filled in at left-back, after academy talent Miles Lewis-Skelly had stepped in previously against Brighton. The reshuffle has worked, but it is far from Arsenal's ideal long-term plan. Christian Mosquera. Another summer signing, Christian Mosquera, remains out following a complicated ankle injury, according to Mikel Arteta. Unfortunately, it's much more than what we expected, Arteta said last month. That admission emphasized the uncertainty around Mosquera's recovery and the cautious approach Arsenal are taking. His return will be carefully managed, particularly given the club's push across multiple competitions. Potential return date, January 17 versus Nottingham Forest, Max Dowman. Arsenal's injury list extends beyond senior stars. Teenage midfielder Max Dowman picked up an ankle injury in a behind-closed-doors friendly against Manchester United in December. Scans confirmed the issue, but surgery has not been required, offering some relief about the long-term prognosis. With Max, unfortunately, he picked up an injury, so we did some scans and he is going to be out, Arteta said last month. Dowman has since been removed from Arsenal's Champions League squad to make room for the returning Gabriel Jesus, and is not expected back until February 2026. It is a setback for one of Arsenal's brightest youth prospects, but the club will prioritize patience over pace in his rehabilitation. Responsibility and anticipation, as the club stands on the edge of one of the most defining fixtures of the season. A clash with Liverpool is never just another match on the calendar, it is a contest layered with history, intensity, pride, and the weight of expectations from millions of supporters across the world. As the countdown continues toward this high-stakes encounter, attention has naturally turned toward the fitness and availability of the Arsenal squad, particularly the latest injury developments surrounding Riccardo Calafiori, Max Dowman, and several other players whose readiness could shape the outcome of this monumental game. This letter is not merely an update, but a reflection on how injuries, recoveries, and squad management intertwine with Arsenal's broader ambitions. It is a reminder that football is not only about tactics and talent, but also about resilience, patience, and trust in the collective strength of the team. Let us begin with Riccardo Calafiori, whose arrival at Arsenal was greeted with optimism and excitement. Signed to add depth, balance, and tactical flexibility to the defensive unit, Calafiori quickly showed glimpses of why the club invested in his potential. Comfortable on the ball, aggressive in duels, and intelligent in his positioning, he represents the modern defender Arsenal have sought to integrate into their evolving system. However, recent weeks have not been kind to the Italian defender. Calafiori has been nursing a muscular issue that has limited his involvement in full training sessions. While the injury is not believed to be severe, it has required careful management by the medical staff. The concern has not only been about his immediate availability, but also about avoiding any long-term setback that could disrupt his adaptation to the Premier League's relentless demands. Sources close to the training ground suggest that Calafiori has been responding positively to treatment. Light training, rehabilitation drills, and monitored gym sessions have all formed part of his recovery plan. There is cautious optimism that he could be involved in matchday preparations ahead of the Liverpool clash, but a final decision will depend on how he reacts to increased intensity in training. For Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff, the dilemma is clear. Do they risk including a player who may not be at 100% for such a physically demanding contest, or do they opt for caution, trusting other defensive options who are fully fit and match-ready? This is the delicate balance that defines elite-level management, and Calafiori's situation perfectly encapsulates that challenge. Turning our attention to Max Dowman, the conversation shifts from established first-team expectations to youthful promise and long-term planning. Dowman has been one of the standout prospects within Arsenal's development setup, earning praise for his technical ability, composure, and understanding of the game beyond his years. His progress has been closely monitored, with many seeing him as a future asset capable of bridging the gap between academy and senior football. Unfortunately, Dowman has also found himself sidelined due to injury. A knock sustained during training has ruled him out of recent involvement, and while the issue is not considered serious, it has interrupted a crucial phase of his development. For a young player, momentum is everything, and any pause can feel like a significant setback. The club's approach with Dowman has been understandably cautious. Arsenal have learned from past experiences that rushing young talents back from injury can do more harm than good. As such, Dowman's rehabilitation has focused on gradual reintegration, ensuring both physical readiness and mental confidence before he returns to full action. While he is unlikely to play a direct role in the Liverpool clash, his recovery remains an important. Beyond Calafiori and Dowman, the injury list paints a complex picture of a squad stretched by domestic and European commitments. Minor knocks, fatigue-related issues, and ongoing recovery processes have become part of daily life at London Coney. The modern football calendar leaves little room for rest, and Arsenal, like many top clubs, have had to navigate this reality with strategic squad rotation and meticulous sports science planning. Several senior players have been managing niggles that, while not officially classified as injuries, require careful attention. These include muscle tightness, impact-related soreness, and general wear and tear accumulated over a demanding run of fixtures. None of these concerns are expected to rule key players out entirely, but they do influence training loads and tactical decisions ahead of a match as intense as Liverpool. The importance of squad depth cannot be overstated in this context. Arsenal's recruitment strategy in recent seasons has focused heavily on building a group capable of absorbing such challenges. Versatility, adaptability, and mental toughness have been prioritized alongside technical quality. Injuries, though frustrating, are often the ultimate test of whether that strategy has been successful. From a tactical perspective, the availability or absence of players like Calafiori can subtly alter Arteta's approach. Defensive balance, build-up patterns, and pressing structures all hinge on personnel. Against Liverpool, a side known for their pace, pressing intensity, and transitional threat, these details become even more critical. Every selection decision carries amplified consequences. The psychological dimension of injury management also deserves attention. For players on the treatment table, watching teammates prepare for a major fixture can be emotionally challenging. There is a desire to contribute, to be part of the occasion, and to share in the responsibility of representing the badge. Arsenal's medical and coaching staff have worked hard to ensure that injured players remain mentally engaged, reinforcing their sense of belonging and purpose even when they cannot be on the pitch. Supporters, too, play a role in this ecosystem. Understanding the realities of injury recovery fosters patience and unity, qualities that are essential during the long and unpredictable journey of a football season. Arsenal's fanbase has shown remarkable maturity in recent years, recognizing that sustainable success often requires difficult short-term decisions. As the Liverpool match approaches, speculation will inevitably intensify. Predicted lineups will be debated, injury updates scrutinized, and every training ground photo analyzed for clues. Yet, behind the scenes, the club's priority remains clear: to field the strongest possible team without compromising the long-term health of its players. It is worth remembering that Arsenal's ambitions Riccardo Calafiori's situation embodies the promise and patience required in modern football. His journey at Arsenal is still in its early chapters, and how the club manages this period could have lasting implications for his integration and confidence. Max Dowman's setback, meanwhile, serves as a reminder that the pathway from academy to first team is rarely linear, demanding resilience and support at every stage. As we look ahead to the Liverpool clash, there is a collective sense of determination within the Arsenal camp. Injuries may influence the shape of the squad, but they do not diminish the belief in the group's ability to compete, adapt, and rise to the occasion. Football history is filled with moments where adversity has forged stronger teams, and Arsenal are no strangers to that narrative. In closing, this letter is both an update and a message of trust. Trust in the medical staff to make the right calls, trust in the players to give everything within their limits, and trust in the process that has brought Arsenal back into conversations of elite competition. Whatever the final team selection against Liverpool, it will reflect careful consideration, shared responsibility, and an unwavering commitment to the club's values. Thank you for standing with the team through every challenge and triumph. The journey continues, and together, we move forward with hope, resilience, and belief.